Welcome, 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 gorgeous souls, to another juicy, joyful episode of Live Your Best Life. I am super excited today to be joined by the most gorgeous of guests. We've got the wonderful Sama Trinder, who is the founder of Bhuti London and Bingham River House. Sama is a multi-disciplinary well-being practitioner, meditation teacher, yoga therapist, and Joyraiser, blending life, work, experience to help people from all walks of life release stress and rediscover their joy. Yay! Amazing. Welcome, my lovely. I'm all excited about rediscovering the joy. Yeah, definitely what draws me to your energy. So you're so welcome on this episode, my lovely. Would you like to say a little hello and anything you'd like to share about yourself?
I'm excited to be here. It was amazing meeting another joy raiser. I know you're
Yay!
queen of joy, but and like rediscovery, because I think like we have been joyful, so it's not like, or we are joyful, like it's sometimes just a remembering of like that essence of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And when I read your bio, I was like, Joy Raiser, amazing, because I talk about joy raisers and joy seekers and us being our own queens and kings of joy. I love Joy Raiser. I think it's a really beautiful
It
title.
it
So,
came from Hellraiser, because yeah,
ah,
it's a bit of a hellraiser. So,
I love it.
a bit naughty,
Yeah.
alcohol. They might like probably a lot of us. I'm not young people these days, but young people when I was young, late
Yeah.
90s, I was a hellraiser. So that's where the flip came to. That was the play on the words.
I love it. I love it. It's a beautiful title to choose, isn't it? And I was talking to someone on another podcast earlier, actually, that it's like the name is like much more than a name, isn't it? It's like a beingness, it's like an identity. So when you say Joy Raiser, like I feel the feels for it. Do you know what I mean? You can like feel the energy it gives off. So I'd love to know, like, why is it important to you to be a Joy Raiser? Like, what is it about that?
I was a miserable child. Uh,
Right.
and I really struggled up until probably my mid-30s, to be honest, with anxiety, depression. Um, I don't know if we can talk about suicide, like attempted suicide. So really, like, and a lot of it was all self-created. I lived in a privileged upbringing. My parents, my dad died when I was 13, and that's when I got really miserable for about 10 years
Mhm.
until I had my son when I was 24. And it wasn't until like learning yoga and spirituality in my sort of late 20s to mid 30s that I began to realize I was making my life miserable. I thought life was making me miserable, but I was
Mm.
making myself miserable because of how I perceived how life should be. And I think a lot of us, especially if we do grow up in a fairly easy, affluent way, you've got high expectations for what life should be, and it often can fall short. And you think, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And it's not, but it's just how we saw it. So I'm really, and it's not like I wake up every day going, yay,
Yeah.
but you probably do, Kat, because you give off that vibe. I still wake up and go, oh, bloody hell, I'm shitting myself. Like I literally still do that. But I can get over it and realize, okay,
Yeah.
that's my brain. That's my brain doing its usual thing that it's been doing all my life. But I'm going to just go, no, thank you. I'm going to look at the sun. Today it's sunny where I am, smell the flowers, just enjoy a cup of coffee, or just, find the joy in the small detail. I think that's the thing. I think what I'm trying to show is no matter what's going on in your life, it will get better. And even in the shittiest times, we can find, I don't know, are we allowed to swear on this podcast?
Yeah, gosh, yeah. Swear, this is a total
Um,
swear zone.
but there is hope. I suppose it's like what, like, all the traditions, like Dalai Lama's might, he talks about happiness, doesn't he, a lot, and that you can find a way through the suffering no matter what.
Mm,
And that's what I wish someone had shared with me in my teens, or when my dad had died, or when I was going bankrupt, or when I was getting divorced, or that this is not going to last forever. And even you're not being bombed at the end of the day. I mean, some people, God forbid, if you're listening to this, might be in that terrible
mm.
situation, but most of us listening to this podcast are probably living in the Western world in a fairly reasonably comfortable environment, you know what I mean? So it's not that bad. And yeah, that's what sparked me probably maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I started like talking, calling myself a Joyraiser. And and I shared with someone about that, about like, oh, I want to write a book about joy. And she's like, that's gonna really annoy a lot of people, And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes,
Right.
yeah, like they don't want to talk, they want to hear about joy. Someone's so depressed, you can't even bring the topic of joy. They're just trying to get through the day. So I'm still, I haven't written the book. I've started writing a book, but I don't know, what do you think about Kat? If you're really depressed, can you even contemplate feeling joy?
Oh, like that, like it's such a great question, isn't it? And there's so much you said. I was like, oh, I want to go in that tangent, that tangent, that tangent. So, like, but to answer that, and actually you touched upon it before. Like, I think joy and sorrow like can absolutely dance together, and but because that's life, right? And like everybody has stuff to navigate through their lives, and sometimes it's a shit ton of stuff, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's a bit smaller and deliberate, but no one kind of misses stuff. That is just how it delivers, right? So I think learning to dance with sorrow and joy is just such a helpful place for us to get to as humans,
Mhm.
so when someone is in that deep dark place, like it's hard, like I can't speak for them, we can't speak for others, can we? But I do believe if we have some kind of practice where we can find joy in the tiny little things, like you mentioned, the sun shining where you are, it is with me today, and we try and like build, like I look on joy like a muscle. I don't know if like that resonates with you, much like if we want to do a class that helps us feel good physically, we can build like these other muscles to feed our soul. We mentioned a bit about soul before. That's like a key part of Bhuti, isn't it? That soul health you mentioned.
Mhm.
And I just think actually, if we if we are kind of wired into trying to find these tiny little pockets, like these two energies can like bounce around together. Sometimes that sorrow is probably going to win, and other times maybe the joy can creep up. Do you resonate with that? I'm seeing lots of nodding. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Um, I think, I don't know if I read it somewhere, that the chemicals from grief and pain are almost the same as joy, or something, extreme pain. Have you
Yes.
read that? Or like, in
Yeah.
childbirth, you've got the most pain, and then you have ecstasy on the other side of that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's, I suppose, the more we feel one as well, the more we can feel the joy, the more we can feel the grief and the
Yeah.
whatever the pain is. Yeah, the more I feel like we can feel the joy as well. So actually going into the pain, because I think a lot of, we numb ourselves. That means we don't want to feel pain, but then that means we can't access joy fully either.
Yeah, and like again, similar energies, laughter and tears.
Yeah.
It's like, and actually, you can be in laughter, and then the tears can come, and we can step away from that and go, "Oh, I'm not, I'm not gonna allow," right? But then we're just shoving it down, aren't we? You know, so like it allows that kind of release from letting these kind of like dance together, if you like.
Yeah.
You mentioned a book, didn't you? And your friend saying that. I was thinking there was something that I really wanted to hook onto. And I've had this reflected to me in my kind of journey of, you know, deciding, right, I'm just going to be the freaking joy queen because, like, why not? Right? Why not? Do you know what I mean? And I was like, I am here for that. Whilst I'm still moving, living, breathing, I'm here for that. And I got reflected to me a few times, like, can't lead with joy. You got to lead with the sorrow. Lead, like, so that's very like you said with your friend and the book. It's like, oh, no one wants to read that. And like, I push back against that because I was told many times, so like find the pain, like find the bits that hurt and like lead with that bit and then lead to joy. And I'm like, okay, there's look like there's lots of that about, isn't there? There's a ton of that about. And I think if you really if you feel joy, you know, and like you said, you can wake up and go, shit, like that's not that doesn't mean you can't lead with joy, right? You're just being a human, like having a human experience, feeling the feelings, which is really essential. But I think for those that feel that they can like speak joy into people's existence more and invite it in more, it's like write the freaking book all about joy. Like make it clearly like joy is your heartbeat. Do you know what I mean? So like I'm like, Sama, write that book. Write that. You said you started
It
that.
was,
Write it, right.
yeah, I am right. It is a lot about pain. I am writing about it is a lot about pain. But I think that's okay. Because I think it's like, okay, you're feeling shit, someone's died or whatever, you're ill, and so, or but,
Yeah.
we carry on. So I think yeah, I'm leveraging pain for joy. If that's I'll just
Yeah,
that
you know, and if it take and it describes the journey, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah, it describes the like
yeah,
the A to B, and then it feels like really relatable. But I think we shouldn't ever feel like we need to dampen down
yeah,
joy because,
yeah,
like, God, doesn't the world bloody need some light and some
yes.
love and do you know what I mean? Some like elevated vibrations where there's like the darker vibrations. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm
I had
always
I heard a stat. I've got a friend who is writing a book about how most people like we live, I'll just put myself into that bracket. Often people don't enjoy their job. I do actually love my job now, but for some time I didn't. I think something like 80% of UK hates their job or something like that.
wow.
And you just like living for the 2 week holiday, and that's where you find your joy, and then you're back to like commuting on the tube and going, so um I don't know where I was going with that now. What was the point?
Something
Um,
about a book, wasn't it?
it was about yeah, so it's about like I suppose you talk about the world needing joy. It's and the thing that I'm so interested about as well. My mum comes from Kenya, third world. I know we shouldn't say third world anymore, developing world, but when she was grew up in Kenya, it was considered the third world.
Yeah,
Abject poverty, no shoes, very little food. Like she was probably starving. And my mum's the most positive. She's always smiling, she's got
right.
like and that's the thing about going to Kenya. I've never lived there, but I've gone on there. It's like people have, I'm gonna swear, fuck all and can smile and can have time.
Yeah,
And in the West, like the more wealth we have, the more comforts we have, the more depressed and miserable. Like antidepressants,
yeah.
and not dodging it, taking antidepressants. Sometimes we need them, but yeah, it's just it doesn't correlate, does it? The more that we have, the more
No, really
joyful we
doesn't.
need to be as a human a species or race.
But it's really interesting what you say about that percentage with the people that aren't enjoying their work, right? So then that would then dictate to, well, of course, then like because you're so much there, you
Mm,
are, you know, and I talk about this a lot, you know, if you're living for, and I think it's probably from my background as a teacher, because it's very teacher cycle to live for the holidays, right? But it's like, if you're doing that, then like, what are you doing when it's not the holidays? What are you
Yeah.
doing when, like if you're just living for your 2 weeks in like France or Greece or whatever, right? And that's when we're all going to be really, really freaking happy and grateful. It's fucked, isn't it? Because like the other 50 weeks, whoa, and it's like, so I think it's so interesting what you say about your mom and her energy and like going to Kenya and they're not being a lot. It's not, but there's still being this abundance of joy. It
Mm.
like, there's the mindset, I would say, in this world and and where we live is that it's just not satisfied and it's looking for these moments for the joy to happen, but the here and now, it's like, oh, that's not that's not hitting it, and that's not good enough. And this is why developing things like a joyful practice and learning how to get in your body, you start to shift the way you're thinking, and then maybe that job you thought you hate, maybe you didn't hate it, or maybe
Yeah.
it's an invitation to go and find something else. But
Yeah. But
to
generally, it's not the thing. It's not the job, because you can change.
yeah.
Still be. I mean, that's what I did. I changed industries from hospitality to running a yoga studio. I've gone back to hospitality, but running a yoga studio was still running another business. It was still really challenging. I still had, so yeah, it's never really the external thing anyway, even though we can,
Yeah.
it is. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I talk a lot about like pockets of joy. It's like just
Mm,
find your little pockets, find the pockets of joy in every day, and don't just find them, actually like notice them. Actually just give them a little bit of, like we mentioned the sunshine before, like so like actually like notice how that makes you feel, like looking at that sunshine, it's such a simple thing, but when we like start to do this as just this is our default, like it changes our energy, doesn't it? It
mm,
shifts, I think it shifts how we look at life and the
mm,
world, you know. This is how we get to be joy raisers and joy queens, right?
mm.
I'd love to know, because you've talked about this a few times, and I talk about this a lot, like being in joy is not about, everything's just like peachy. And I dance around and Bambi's by me and there's a rainbow and like, because it's just bullshit, isn't it? Like life is life and we navigate it in how we have to navigate it when the things come up. But like how we respond in like when the things come up, I think is like that's definitely for me, that's been a really big shift point. So it's not that I don't go, but it's like I learn how to live with that, if you like, So it like when joy feels like a million miles away from you, like what tools and techniques have really helped you like get back to joy and feel more like it's like back in your energy and you're more in that joy raiser vibration.
Yeah, I think there's a general preventative daily keeping myself clear, which is like yoga. And I don't often manage, that doesn't mean needing to go to a yoga studio and doing a 90-minute class, because a lot of us, I don't have time for that often. I do one class I love every week, but I do maybe 10 minutes headstand or whatever. Meditation, I teach meditation, I share, do it twice a day myself. It doesn't always happen, I have to admit, not twice a day generally, but at least, every now and then. That sounds terrible to say as a meditation teacher, every now and then.
But
Oh,
it's okay, isn't it?
it
It's
is, but I'm
okay.
yeah. I think, and I was doing all of those things as well and still feeling really shit and really depressed. So you can do these things and not, and this is why I think I'm really what we talk about with Bhuti, soul health, because you can see people going to like festivals, going to yoga all their lives, doing all the things, drinking the green juice, blah, blah, still completely fucking miserable. Do you
Right.
know what I mean? You know the one like, and that was me as well. I'm doing it all. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. 90-minute Ashtanga practice every day. Miserable as hell. Like, so ultimately, I think what has served me is like doing all the healthy stuff and still feeling like shit. Okay, I'm not saying not to do the healthy stuff, because we know eating a packet of biscuits and drinking a bottle of vodka is going to make you feel even worse. And
Mm,
so what I used to do. Um, is it nature? I think it's just literally being in the awareness that this will pass, this is normal. If it's the worst thing, there's a gift from this. Um, yes, I dance as well. I love going dancing, or I chant as well. So those things like shift me, but ultimately
mm,
I've got to have this intrinsic belief
mm,
that it's just literally, people always say, oh, it's just like clouds passing. It is a cloud passing. Um, And I still feel drowned sometimes when I'm like literally that I'm drowned and I just have to go to
mm.
bed and I'm done. I'm fucked. But I know I will never try to hate my life, because I know that I've got some hope and spark of hope. So
Yeah,
yeah, chanting for me, singing, dancing, meditation, yoga, but you can still feel like shit. Ultimately, you've got to have a belief and connection to hope. And for me, that is joy, that um no matter what the bleakest situation you're in, it will pass and there'll be some gifts and gold in it, and there's magic on the other side.
yeah. Oh, I love that. And I think, I think that's such a good thing, such a key thing to voice that yes, you can have all these things, but still the wheels can completely fall off, and
Mm,
that's okay, right? It's that knowing, isn't it? That's knowing that it will pass. And I
mm,
think also in times like this, and actually, regardless of times like that, just all the time, just be gentle. So, because
mm,
it isn't about doing all these things, like
mm,
taking 5 minutes for yourself every day, if that's all you've got the capacity for at that particular time in your life, that's okay. Celebrate the 5 minutes. We can beat ourselves up, can't we, for not like doing, like, oh, I should
mm.
meditate and stretch, and
Yeah.
oh, have I got out in nature? Have I have I ticked all the boxes? And
No,
like, we know what ticks our boxes, right? But I think, because a lot of the women I speak to, and I'm sure probably you have a similar scenario, it's like time, 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 time. It's like, okay, great. Like how we use our time definitely is going to affect how we're feeling energetically. But if for whatever reason, like just 5 or 10 minutes is available to you, and do you know what? Like you can't face anything on your mat, just lie on your mat, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you can't go there with the breath, just sit down, just have some
Mm,
stillness. Like, I just think we can put a lot of pressure on ourselves to look after our wellness.
mm,
And then we give ourselves that kind of like, oh, well, that wasn't, you didn't do enough
yeah.
there.
The thing to beat ourselves up with,
you
and not have
know?
a fuss of joy, definitely.
Yeah.
Did
So it's
mention
like,
journaling as well, because that definitely, and I know not wanting to add another thing to do that I beat myself up for not doing, but for me, like writing it, like getting it out, it's almost an immediate it just takes
yeah,
out the inflammation of whatever is causing me the pain or the anger or whatever it is as well. Uh,
yeah,
but it's different times, different things, different. It's just what comes across from you is like you're really like compassionate podcast listeners. I couldn't make the first call, and then I was beating myself up because I'm hate to be late for someone or let somebody down. And then for this I couldn't find my headphones, thinking like it's fine, it's fine. And I think some of us, especially if we are in like wellness and the helping professions, we really want to do a good job, and we want to be on time, and we want to do all the things. And I think self-compassion and compassion to others is like fundamental, and go, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, darling, you just need to go and have a cup of tea and eat a packet of biscuits if you want. So I shouldn't,
Yeah.
because poor biscuits got a bad rap then. But if that's all you can do and that's all that there is, then like
Yeah.
I think, yeah, compassion is really something that I think I lose sight of sometimes.
Yeah, be kind to yourself. It's so important, isn't it? And
Mm.
and it's often a missed piece. And this is also what I think is really important about joy is it can look on as this like shiny object. It's like this, whoa, but joy is like self-love. Joy is kindness to self. It's like it's so many different things, isn't it? And I think if we don't I don't know, like sometimes it can be like, put on this pedestal of like it's this destination, this thing that we're aiming for. And it's like actually, if we break it down really simply, like joy is like, looking at yourself in the mirror and smiling and feeling good about that. Joy is like just
Feeling okay, feeling,
yeah,
as you
yeah,
say, I'm not feeling shit. That's a,
yeah.
that's a result.
Yeah, I often say, I feel like it can be a bit luxury items, like on your shopping list, like it's like that really lovely hand wash that, you're not buying because you buy this other thing and da, da, da. And I always go, do you know what? It's the freaking loo roll. It is the loo roll. And when we start to look at it like that, I think we can put it as like it's far away from us, and we have to meet a certain criteria to get it, to achieve it, to earn it, to have it. It's like if we look on it like the loo roll, like we all use loo roll, don't we?
Yeah.
And it's like, and actually, without the loo roll, we're pretty fucked. you know, COVID showed us that, didn't it? It was carnage, right? So I think the loo roll analogy helps us. I don't know, maybe makes it feel a bit more accessible, because like it's for everyone, but I know not everyone can fall into it with ease, right? So, yeah, I'm like, how can we get everyone to like embrace it like the loo roll?
Mhm.
It's not a great tagline. I'm going to work on that, but that's always my visual with it. It's like it's not for special people. Like, and actually, every one of us is freaking special. It's
Mm.
like it's here for all of us. How can we make that more a reality? And that's what excites me about it. You
Mm.
know, yeah. Yeah, and that's why we need joy raisers and joy queens, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to do a little bit of laughter in a mo, but before we do, and I know you've touched on a few of them, but like, um, and this is kind of like different to before because like they're your techniques and stuff. But like when you think of joy givers, like what are the things that spring to mind? Which you just go, ah, they make your body dance and your heart sing.
Like activities, things, or
Yeah,
people.
what's an instant joy hit for you? Like you mentioned
Oh,
sunshine and you
yeah.
smiled. So I was like, right,
Sea,
summer is did you say tea?
the sea.
Oh, the sea.
And no matter,
Yeah.
even if it's freezing cold, as soon as I'm in the sea, my whole body goes, yes, to life.
Yeah.
Like I just love the sea. I need to live by the sea. I don't live by the sea, but
Come and visit me. I'm by the sea. We can come and jump
yeah,
in waves. Yeah.
I'd love to. Dancing, good music, um, being in nature. Yeah, I think I've already said that, haven't I? By a tree. Um, I've got kids. I'm blessed to have kids, so time with them is really
Mm,
magical, and like hearing their laughter, and my dog.
Mm.
Yeah, doing things like this, being with like-minded people on the same wavelength. And
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that community, like especially COVID and modern life and everything online, and, we're so desperate, but like, having a good old time with friends.
Yeah.
I stopped doing,
Connection. Yeah.
yeah, I stopped doing that a lot because it was always around alcohol, and I was trying not to drink. So I found out I was actually getting more and more isolated. I wasn't really going out with
Yeah.
groups. But being with friends out is fun.
Mm.
It's like,
Mm.
having some belly laughs and um yeah, so many things.
Yeah, I love that. And for
Sex.
anyone
I
listening,
mentioned sex.
did you mention sex? No, but you have now.
Yeah, good
Woohoo!
sex.
Definitely on the top of the list.
Any sex, to be fair, but good sex
Yeah,
is
yeah. Would we take mediocre? That's fine.
yeah, we would take
As long as I'm having fun. But for anyone listening, because I always think when we're caught up in the stuff, it can be hard to think of things like this. So I always think it's a really good idea to like write down, that list you gave, beautiful. Like it's great to have stuff like that written down. So if we are having a day or an afternoon or a week or a month or whatever time frame of where like everything just feels a bit, oh, go and look at your list and go, oh, right, yeah, the sea makes me feel great. Oh, the sunshine. Oh, yeah, sex, oh, my friends. And we've got something which is kind of, it's like a go-to. And I think when our brains are spiraling, we can just hit all the negative stuff. And so having something like written down as a quick kind of like, okay, like here's almost like it's like a what's the word? First aid kit,
Mm,
It's like first aid kit for joy. Where are my joy givers? Oh, okay, right. Do you know what? They feel too far removed from where I am. But do you know what? I'm going to give that a whirl. And
yeah,
that's going to help because sometimes we just need that little shift and it
yeah,
can change everything, can't it? So yeah, I like that's a top tip from me. I just think if anyone's listening and going, oh God, like when I'm struggling, like write it down before, not in the struggle, have it written down, and then just helps us
mm,
come back home because that's all we when we're caught up we've just lost our way, haven't we? And it's like we just want to come home because that's where the safety is, isn't it? Being back in our bodies. So my darling, are you up for a little bit of laughter?
yeah,
Amazing. So I'm asking every guest on the pod to because this is all about living your best life, and just thinking about how we can make life, embrace life with more joy. And laughter yoga, as you know, I'm really passionate about. It's one of the tools I love to share because it's in us, so we don't have to like go and find it. It's like, yay. So I love to share it so anyone listening can like have a little giggle along with us and like notice how they feel. So all we're going to do is we're going to breathe in and then we're just going to exhale and laugh. Yeah. Okay. So let's breathe in and then exhaling with laughter.
Oh.
Oh, I love it. Let's go again. Breathing in and exhaling. Oh, I love it. Right, let's do one more.
Okay.
Breathing in and exhaling.
Oh.
Oh, I love doing this on Zoom because I really feed off the energy of the laughter and the face, because I think our faces like really change in laughter.
Mm.
Like what do you want to share about just doing that? Like, did you notice anything in your energy? Like whatever you feel was whatever you felt. So no need to like you know, like pretend or just say whatever you felt.
It's interesting because I thought I was gonna have to fake laugh, but then
Right.
the laugh that came out when I was a laugh,
Yeah.
then my brain started going as like, "Oh, I've stopped laughing now," and you were carrying on
Yeah.
laughing. My laughter doesn't last as long as cats laugh. But the breathing in and the laugh came naturally, it came out.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
beautiful, that was yeah. But I
Yeah,
thought
it's a really I always start with laughter breaths because as we all know, like laughter can feel like too far away from us sometimes. And I really, really advocate the power of laughter for shifting how we feel. But it
mm,
can be a tricky in if we're not feeling in a
mm,
great space. So just kind of breathing and then just seeing what comes
mm,
out. It's
mm,
just, you know, because there's lots of different exercises and stuff with laughter
mm,
yoga, but simply like breathing, exhaling with laughter, you know, it's just a bit of an easier in
mm,
if it's feeling a bit far removed from us. And it's really interesting you said about faking the laughter,
mm,
because if you had faked it, your body still gets the same physiological benefit. So that's what I think is like such a powerful piece in it. It's like you can actually just do this kind of like forced laughter. And then what will happen, because your cortisol is lowering and your endorphins are releasing, like you
mm,
start to fall more naturally into your own laughter.
mm,
So yeah, it's like it just opens that like little gateway to joy, if you like, by like, oh, okay, this amazing thing's happening in my body. Oh, now I might feel a bit more at ease
mm.
with my laughter. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me, my lovely. I do love it. Oh, so we need to wrap up soon, my lovely. I could talk to you forever, but there are one or two couple of things I'd like to ask you before we do. So what's one thing that has helped you get to where you are now? So by that I mean it could be like a practice, it could be like a feeling, like a decision, or you know, like whatever comes up for you is like whatever the right answer is. So what's one thing that's helped you like get to where you are right now in this moment?
Well, it's a big question.
It
One
is.
thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be heavy. Is that all right?
Yeah. Yeah. That like
Um,
whatever comes up is whatever comes up. If it feels good to share, like please do share.
so I was at my wit's end and I did try to take my life and I was found, but I think that's probably because I've learned everything I've learned has been from that. Because when I was found and woke up and all the rest of it, I realized, bloody hell, I did want to live actually.
Mm,
And so everything that's gone from that has been building blocks and but it's amazing because it's obviously it's a thing that, you know, it's affecting a lot of people. And I say for everyone that does, there's 20 more people that try.
mm,
So, but I think a lot of people will, you know, if they do go through different treatment therapy afterwards or whatever, or start practices, they wouldn't try again. A lot of people would obviously do try again as well. But yeah, I think it's having the second chance to do life and then yeah.
mm.
I mean, that's only because I had to find one thing. It has to be the biggest. That was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us and feeling safe to share. And that sentence you just said about like having another try again with life, like I
Mm,
just felt like a real kind of wave of goosebumps when you said that. Like it's yeah, like that's a huge thing to go through, isn't it? So to look back and reflect on, you know, where you are now, it's incredible, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
and no doubt has a key kind of driving force with being here to be a joy raiser. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
mm, yeah.
yeah. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I really value that you felt that you could share. To wrap up, one last thing, my darling, to anyone listening, what could you say to encourage them to live their best life? What would it be that would feel like a good final kind of thing to share with them?
I think off the back of that thing, life is precious and you're here. I believe in God or a higher, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, a higher power. So there's a reason you're here in this moment for this life. So you might not know what it is yet, but to find what that is, and it could just be just to be and just to
Yeah.
share your laugh. But I think that's the thing. I think when we're away from our joy, it's we forget how precious we are as like this, you know, they say we're like moon dust, stardust, or whatever. But we're miracles, we're precious. And then when you remember that, I think you can find the joy or you can find the peace or whatever it is you need. But it's just remembering from that moment, no matter what you're doing or haven't done in your life, or however you might feel like you fucked up, whatever, you're not, you're beautiful, miraculous, precious being. So just remembering
Mm,
that.
mm. Yeah, and sometimes we really forget that, and it can
Mm,
feel easy to forget. So remembering the miracle that we are. I
mm,
I love that. And I talk a lot about making the most of your dance on this planet, and it doesn't matter what the dance is, right?
yeah,
It doesn't like, and I think this is where we can be harsh on ourselves. It's like it needs to be this big thing, like joy, right? Joy is this big thing, it's like, no, just
yeah,
and
David.
however it is, just freaking like breathe it in, feel it, touch it, be it, It might be huge what you're here to do, and it might be like smaller and quiet, but neither is better and neither is like, do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like just yeah, freaking love yourself. I think
yeah,
ultimately, isn't it? Love yourself hard and see what people around you see,
yes,
It's so important, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I could talk to you forever, my lovely. But that is my final
you too.
question.
Thank you, Kat.
It, oh, you have just
And
been,
amazing for sharing this and you're lighting up the world and lit me up on this call. And when I first met you some time
oh,
ago, yeah,
oh,
so
thank you, my lovely.
needed and it's don't stop.
Yeah, thank you.
Me.
Thank you. I received that. And I think like that's a key thing, isn't it? Receive what people share with you, right?
Maybe you can create a joy school for,
Yeah.
for like a joy university.
Ah, I love it. Yeah, at some point, definitely. It's been wonderful to have you as a guest, Summer. Before we wrap up, is there anything you would love to share with anything? Maybe something is coming up soon in your world that you'd love to share with the listeners? Yeah, so over to you, my darling.
So Bhuti is it was a yoga studio. It's now like there's retreats and workshops, and we do something called Journey to Joy, which
Mm.
are retreats. So we always have like a monthly evening one. Sometimes we do longer day ones, and I'm doing one in Kenya in November, which is going to be 7 days of a journey to joy with another facilitator. It's called Reclaim, but it's also joy in there. So
Mm,
yeah, so that's come and find my retreats on Sama Trinder Instagram at Sama Trinder or Booty London. Yeah.
beautiful. Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. Check Summer out. Find her on Insta. And if you're not an Insta person, check out her website. All her links will be in the show notes. And yeah, and let her know that you've followed her. Let her know you've had a listen. And yeah, it's always lovely to have that connection, I think, when people come and follow you. So once again, Summer, it has been absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to send you all the love, my darling. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you.